Welcome back to the theory of motivation. I am Dr. Reg Butterfield talking to you about content theories of motivation. This is our 7th video of the series, and if you have not watched the first introduction video, I strongly recommend you to do so, as it puts the whole subject of motivation into context. In our first video of this series on motivation, we introduced what is meant by motivation and the types of motivation theory. The remainder of this video series is split into two main groups of theory, process and content theories. In videos 2, 3 and 4, we introduced and explained three process motivational theories: Vroom's expectancy theory, Adams' equity theory, and Locke's goal-setting theory. In video 5, we described what is meant by the content theory of motivation, and followed this by explaining our first example of content theory, that of Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory. In video 6, we explained McGregor's Theory X and Theory Y. In this, our 7th video on motivation, I will explain Alderfer's ERG theory. Clayton Alderfer was an American psychologist, consultant, and academic, known for further developing Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory. The 5 human needs described in Maslow's hierarchy of needs were reduced to 3 levels of needs by Alderfer: existence needs, relatedness needs, and growth needs. Hence the ERG theory. According to Alderfer, existence needs are the basic human survival needs that correspond with Maslow's physiological and safety needs. They include things such as water, food, shelter, and other things necessary for existence. These elements are the foundation for a person to be happy and lead towards a prosperous life. Without these basic needs being met in daily life, it is hard or maybe impossible to focus on other needs. Humans are social beings and need appreciation from people directly involved in their lives, such as family, friends, colleagues, and employers. The relatedness needs relate to these needs, and the focus relates with Maslow's social needs and external self-esteem needs. Interpersonal relationships are important for a person's social status and interaction with other people. In the context of work, it is important to bear in mind the role that relatedness plays in maintaining happiness in workers. Working alone on a computer or other system all day is not likely to serve the individual's social needs in the long term, albeit it may be helpful for short-term productivity. With growth needs, Alderfer focuses on the need of people to grow and develop themselves. The growth needs correspond with the 5th level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, that correspond with self-actualization needs. For the inner self-esteem, it is important for people to grow as a person. From a business perspective, one of the key things you need to focus on is providing employees with the growth opportunities that they desire. The ability to see a path into the future is something that nearly all employees will appreciate, as it's going to help them meet their need for growth. Contrary to Maslow's theory, Alderfer's ERG theory states that different needs categories can be satisfied simultaneously. For example, someone who is struggling to meet the existence needs could also seek a sense of relatedness with others. Therefore, the necessary order as proposed by Maslow no longer applies. When managers motivate their employees, it is important for them to take their employees' various needs into account, and that they should satisfy these needs simultaneously. Within the ERG theory, Alderfer describes a frustration regression hypothesis. Except for growth, which is progression, people can indeed regress down to a lower needs category that has been largely satisfied. When someone's needs in a higher category cannot be satisfied, Alderfer claims that they will focus on related needs in a lower needs category. If they cannot realize the growth needs by means of self-enrichment, this person will do anything to satisfy their relatedness needs. They will fully devote themselves to establishing their relationships with people in their environment. Now let's take a look at some examples to illustrate how ERG can be applied and through this gain a better understanding. If someone has started in a job and needs the financial security of a position in order to alleviate other costs and expenses, they might be in the existence needs of the model. Perhaps their motivation can be increased with incentives and financial bonuses. Since their needs are driven by the need for basic material necessities, incentivizing their work in the domain could increase their motivation to work at a particular job. For a worker who thrives on interpersonal connection and the acknowledgement from others, their needs are in the relatedness sector. These individuals could find greater motivation if they were placed in a position in the workplace where their interpersonal needs or strengths could be validated. Then there could be greater motivation for these individuals to perform better and maximize the output at their jobs. Finally, the needs for reflective growth indicate that an individual has reached a point where they wish to advance personally and move into a realm of professional development and enhancement. For these individuals, their motivation might exist in looking at their job as a vocation and seeking to advance within it. Constructing avenues of professional growth and development could enhance the work motivation for these individuals as it fits their needs. As we come to the end of this explanation, it is important to note that whilst Alderfer's ERG theory was built on the earlier theory of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it differs from Maslow's theory in three ways. A lower level need does not have to be gratified. That is, a person may satisfy a need at hand, whether or not a previous need has been satisfied. If a relatively more significant need is not gratified, the desire to gratify a lesser need will be increased. That is, the frustration in meeting higher order needs might lead a person to regress to a more concrete need category. Alderfer's ERG theory allows the order of the needs to differ for different people. For example, it accounts for the starving artist, who may place growth needs above existence needs. We have now reached the end of Alderfer's existence, relatedness and growth theory, or ERG theory as it is better known as. Thus far, in this second part of our video series, we have explained what content theory means. We introduced 5 content theories: Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory, McGregor's theory X and theory Y, Alderfer's ERG theory, McClelland's need theory, and Hertzberg's two-factor theory. In video 5, we explained the first of the content theories, Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory. We followed this in video 6 with McGregor's theory X and theory Y. In this, the 7th video, we've just explained Alderfer's ERG theory of motivation. Video 8, the next video in this series, is the 4th content theory of motivation, McClelland's need theory. It's now time for you to move on in our series and enjoy video 8.